Hi, this is the recording of the final hand of my unseeded gold stake Ante 39 run of Balatro. I don't normally record my gameplay, but I think this is pretty rare, so I was playing on my Steam Deck and just hit the record button for the final hand to make this. Because it's on Steam Deck, you'll see it slows down a couple of times if you actually watch the recording when it's trying to do the calculations. Also, when I'm adding all the cryptids, it slows down some as well. But it held up pretty well. I was afraid it might crash, but thankfully it did not. So this run is a really good one, I think. It doesn't have anything wild in it. There's no natural negatives that were super helpful. There's no, round one per K or something like that. My intention has been to play for this, but the way I was doing it was basically I was just playing unseeded gold stake for a regular Naneinf, and I figured I would take any risks that were available, take a soul even if it wasn't ideal. If you get a cryptid, just hold on to it in the off chance that you get a per K or something like that along the way. And that's basically what this was. So for the first 8 antes, within that range, I did get 1 blueprint, 1 brainstorm, and a baron. Not a mime. It was mostly a stuntman that carried me through the early antes. My first joker in round 1 was a hanging chad, I think. So then I transitioned into hanging chad playing glass cards, and then the copying baron, where I think I needed maybe 4 kings in hand or something like that to pass antes. Perkeo came around ante 12, I want to say. It was a soul that I took that's what I sort of mean by taking risks. Like if I was just playing for Naneinf, I would not have taken it because it could have, wouldn't have immediately killed the run, obviously, but it could have caused problems because I dropped the Chad for it, and I was using that to, again, copy glass cards or also lucky cards because I had basically no economy. But it obviously was a Perkeo. It then took me a little while to get a cryptid. I think it took me 5 6s with 6 cents in order to get the cryptid to play. At that point, when I got the Perkeo, I also only had 5 joker slots, which was a problem. Thankfully, shortly after that, I got ectoplasm, which landed, I think, on brainstorm. And then also I got antimatter, which gave me enough joker slots to keep winning through while getting the cryptid. Before I got the cryptid, I also got observatory. So the way I was passing antes was basically with a bunch of Plutos for that. I think at one point I got up to like 92 Plutos when I got the cryptid. At that point I sold all of them and started copying cryptid. The problem then was that I could do the math that I just didn't have I wasn't gonna have enough cryptids to make it to 39. So I did take a second ecto, which then landed on the blueprint. So at that point it was kind of a risk. I had 3 copy jokers, Perkeo, Baron, Mime, a DNA, I think, and a Showman. And that's when I got pretty lucky, where I got the 4th and 5th copy jokers without having to wait too long. It was within, I don't know, maybe 30 rerolls over the next couple of rounds or something like that, where I got both of them, which got me to 5 copies, Baron, Mime, Perkeo, in I think ante 23 or 24, somewhere around there, when I was able to do the math and just say, okay, I'll have enough to make it all the way to 39. I peaked at ante 30 with 52 Perkeos, or sorry, 52 cryptids. At that point, the 6 I was creating, it took 6 to pass the ante, so at that point I started skipping to the final boss. And I made it to here, which is what you see just wrapping up, where I had 12 cryptids to spare when I got to the end. The one other negative you see up there was just for temperance value. It doesn't play anything else. So yeah, this is the video of that. It skips to the last hand here where I'm not even trying to score anymore, just trying to get it to go fast because it doesn't really matter at that point what else you can do. So that's the end. It's a good accomplishment. Like I said, I don't know how many people have done it before. I did have a couple quality of life mods, Saturn for 16 times speed, and the blueprint mod just because it looks nice. But other than that, there was nothing else. So, yep, that's all. Unseeded, gold stake, ante 39, and really happy with that.